According to the last report we got, blacks received over $300 billion last year. That's bank, brother and sister. You got money, but you're so divided, you can't pool your resources to do constructive things for yourself. That's our problem. We got plenty of money. That's why Nike can pay Michael Jordan millions and millions of dollars, because you got money to buy Nike shoes. They wouldn't be giving him those kind of dollars to endorse their product if you didn't have any money. You're rich, but you're divided. What makes me free? I don't go to white folk for money. Isn't that wonderful? Now that's all right. I got a dead president in my pocket. This is Mr. Grant. And I ain't going looking for a grant from the people of Mr. Grant. But I go to you because you got Grant in your pocket. Wait. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, my bank is the hearts of my people. And as long as the hearts of my people are with me, I shall never go to the bank with a check and have it marked insufficient funds. Now, why don't black leaders work for black people? Why don't black leaders work for the hearts of black people? Why are you out here? Because your hearts are touched by Farrakhan. So if I need help, who should I come to? God and you. And because you support me, I can talk freely.
We're on, brother.
Greetings and welcome to another powerful edition of the Community Defender Talk Show. One powerful hour of truth in a day of falsehood. I'm your host, Brother Darrell Muhammad, and we're so glad that you have tuned in to tonight's program. And of course, tonight's topic is the snakes keep biting. The snakes keep biting. And this is taken from the inspiration of the Honorable Louis Farrakhan, who points out in the book of Numbers in your Bible, where God sent fiery serpents to bite the members of Israel. And he sent those serpents because they murmured against Moses and against Aaron. And what we're saying is that Moses was not an integrationist. Moses believed that the children of Israel should be free from Egypt. And the people disagreed with the message of God of separation from Egypt. So then he sent some fiery serpents. And the Honorable Louis Farrakhan has said that fiery serpents only means angry white folks. And what we have is angry white folks shooting at you, angry white folks killing one-year-old babies. Now, what I want to show as we get into this program is I want to show a picture of Cohen Wiley, the young one-year-old little child that was murdered by police based on a shoplifting lie. Now, here's the interesting thing. We have people who are so sensitive to us taking something as black people. Even though when you talk to people in loss prevention, a lot of these places, they will tell you that they catch a lot of white folks. But the anger and the murder comes into the heart when we are accused, right? And the sister says she has the receipt for whatever it was, the diapers or what have you. Now, the point is that this officer began to open fire on a car and really wasn't threatened. Now, they're going to try to lie later on and say that they felt threatened. I felt for my life, so on and so forth. Now, Carmelo Anthony said he felt for his life. But of course, they didn't give him a break on that whole situation. Now, here's the thing I want you to understand is that this beautiful little child deserved a future, deserved to live, deserved to move forward with his life, and his family deserved to be able to raise this beautiful young boy and raise him and go to his high school graduation, go to his football games, go to his science projects and science fairs, all the stuff that we as parents love to do with our children over the years. But that was taken from them because a fiery serpent, meaning a snake, a demon with a badge, saw fit to murder children. And understand, this is what it's come to. Children are being murdered by police. We're talking about 1-year-olds still in diapers. So, you know, we as adults talk about how the system is against us and how we have extra things that we have to do as we move through the system, right? But as a 1-year-old child, the goal is to kill your 1-year-old child. And what happened to Cohen Wiley is what they want to happen to all. Death is what America has planned, not just for this little baby, but they have it planned for all of the black little babies. And I want you to look at that beautiful child. And those of you who have children, grandchildren, look at your beautiful grandchildren. And what happened to him is what they want to happen to all of your children. They do not care. They do not have feelings where they have compassion as human beings. The Honorable Louis Farrakhan has told us that this is what? Beasts in human form. They look like people, but they are beasts in human form. That's what you have to realize. When you see that badge, when you see that police officer, assume off the rip that it's an aspiring murderer, an aspiring terrorist, which is what this officer was in Senatobia, Mississippi, an actual terrorist, terrorizing the black community. So understand this, a lot of terrorists have badges and are in police cars. And that's what you got to understand. A lot of terrorists have badges and are in police cars. So understand that. I understand that they taught us about officer friendly when we were in grade school, but we need to understand officer friendly is really officer deadly. And I need you to understand that. Officer friendly has become officer deadly. And that's what we need to get through our thick skulls. All right. Now, the snakes are biting. The snakes are biting. I'm going to try to find the scripture for you so I can read it to you so that you can hear it yourself. And we can make it happen like that. And I'm going to read it to you. And this is what it says. Now, we don't want to really separate. We don't want to do our own thing. We don't want to support our own businesses. In a lot of cases, we're more interested in Gucci than we are in freedom. We're more interested in Louis Vuitton and Chanel bags than we are in the future of our children. Many of us have become silly. But this enemy is going to show you. This enemy is going to show you better than anybody else can tell you. I'm talking about this Caucasian racist police officer. Now it says right here in the book of Numbers. Some of y'all need to go to your Bible. The book of Numbers. It says, and the Lord sent forth fiery serpents among the people, and they bit the people, and much people of Israel died. You understand? Fiery serpents, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, only means angry white folks. Okay? Angry white folks. Why are they angry? Because they see their world coming down. They see their birth rate coming down. They see you trying to reach for power. They see you trying to reach for things. And so that anger, Trump is the poster child for white anger right now. But he is one of many angry white people. Okay. He's just the poster child now. It used to be Reagan. It used to be Bush. It used to be McCain. It used to be that. Look, there's always going to be some sort of a poster child for what the main thing is, which is white supremacy and racism. We were tripping out on Reagan in the 80s, all the way up to now. Now it's Trump. Before it was Bush. Before it was the other Bush, right? And unbeknownst to us, Bill Clinton signed the worst crime bill that just decimated black communities. So it's really, whether you're Democrat or Republican, it is really across the board. The hatred for black people, even little babies, is very much prevalent. And our children are being abused even in the schools, all right? I could run some video. Now, I wanted to mention to you something right quick. And let's go back to those officers. And we'll deal with this racist redneck that shot at a black family in just a second. Now, remember when a white person, and with their child, backed up in an aggressive way, moved in an aggressive way toward the officers, and these black officers fired their weapons. Now, within, I would say, 24 hours, they were arrested and charged with second-degree murder and attempted second-degree murder. They have both, I think, been at least one of them has been sentenced to 40 years. So when it's us and a white child, the law moves very swiftly. But understand, when it is a white officer and a black child, all of a sudden he's on administrative leave, which means a paid vacation, which is the same thing that they did with Officer Salamone when he murdered very viciously Alton Sterling. Okay. Bottom line of it is that they know what they're doing. They know what it is. Now, fast forward, and we're talking about the snakes that keep biting us. And understand that in the book of Numbers, just go read it. They murmured against Moses. Moses was an emancipator. Moses wanted to free them. He did not want to integrate them into Egyptian society. He wanted to free them. They didn't want to be free. They did not want to separate, and they murmured against Moses all the time, even though Moses was working to establish them as independent. And when that happened, according to the Bible, snakes began to bite the people. When you see what is happening, it is really snakes. These satanic snakes are biting people. Now, what we have is black people just hanging out outside, just doing their thing, enjoying family. You know, they do the best they can through policy to break our families up. But every now and then we are able to hang out with our family. Well, this man was so upset, he pulls up using the N-word. He pulls up going completely ballistic. He goes home and puts on a vest and gets an AR-15 and comes out and begins to try to kill everybody in the black family, because the existence of the black family enjoying themselves so enraged him. Us having peace, us being able to love one another, him seeing the family ties, he was just enraged that we would get together as a black family. And he came back and just opened fire on these black folks and their families. Okay, the snakes keep biting. The snakes keep biting. That was a bite from what? A snake. Luckily, nobody was injured. Luckily, he got shot, But check this out. They let him out on a $5,000 bond. I want you to check that out. A $5,000 bond that they let him out on. Now, why would they do something like that? You tried to kill a bunch, and then on what they call aggravated assault, instead of the attempted murder with a $2 million bond, which would have worked better. But it lets you know they don't value black life. The system does not value your life. And on a $5,000 bond, the only thing you need to come up with is $600. 12% of 5,000 is 600. Boom, you out for $600 after you just tried to kill a dozen people. So that's an insult. And that's why we should not invest too much of our emotion in this system. We shouldn't do it. We should not get worked up. We should not try. Integration has failed. Everything that the integrationist class of people wanted to do, whether it's voting, all the Voting Rights Act has been overturned. Whether it's affirmative action, all that's been overturned. All of the court cases in the system are going against the black man and woman. We're losing on all fronts, trying to kiss white people's butts instead of getting our butts in a room to do something for ourselves and to love one another as brother and sister. That's what we need to be on. All of this stuff of the integration thing, it looks like it's not working out too well. Okay. Everything we want, America has said no. Will you stop mass incarcerating our youth? No. Will you stop brutalizing us when you pull us over? No. Will you allow us to have equal representation at the ballot box? No. The answer is no. On every single thing that we want, America has said no, 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 no. And that's what you need to deal with. Those are the decisions. Any decision that you make it with the understanding that if you want something from America, the damn answer is no, you can't have it. I don't care how good it is. I want my 1-year-old child just to be able to live. And that racist officer said no with his gun. No with the bullet that went through that little boy's body. He said no. And I understand that our requests have been modest and just. We've been really nice to people. We fought in all of their wars and all of that. But even though you fought in all of their wars, even though the black American soldier is 20% of the military, they don't care that you fight for and defend this country. They don't care. They don't care. You're not going to get anything for it. You're going to have to take what I give you in word. Take what I give you. And if you don't like it, go your black behind back to Africa. That is their posture, man. That's what you got to understand what you are dealing with. You're not dealing with a human mind and a human heart that you can negotiate with in good faith. And anything you would agree with them with, they're trying to do everything in their power to undermine everything that they would agree to. Just like they pulled out of the nuclear agreement with Iran, and now they're fighting. Iran did what they were supposed to do according to everybody, but then they back out of it and then start bombing Iran, sanctioning Iran, even though Iran already negotiated agreement. You cannot negotiate with these people. They will not do their part. America promised that things would improve, and instead, all of our families are broken up. Now we have what, 19% two-parent households dealing with their policies. That's not good. That's not progress, brother and sister. And everything. And I understand our brother opened up his presidential center, his nice library, and His beautiful wife, Sister Michelle Obama, said very wonderful and nice and beautiful words. But when I noticed when he had that interview, the first joint interview that they did since they actually left office, she asked him what he thought, what he accomplished. And he said the Affordable Care Act. But then he mentioned that the Republicans were undermining it. And I'm not, giving you the exact words, but he said that the Republicans were undermining it, right? Now, he then said that he was most proud of the tone that they set. I mean, so in reality, there's no permanent good. He had to acknowledge. So now you're talking about the tone. Go back and look at the interview. He said the tone that he set. Well, hell, we can't eat a tone. Milk and bread and eggs and all that stuff. You can't buy that with a tone. So he's really saying that we were diplomatic to the people that called us the N-word every day, and we projected an air of diplomacy and sophistication through the country and throughout the world. But did you get any doggone thing done? You understand what I'm saying? So that is where we are right now. That is where we are right now. Now, I mean, we have to make what we call a fair assessment of where we are. And right now, the civil rights community, when you look at where we are in civil rights right now, y'all have got to get in the room and understand that it's a failure. A failure. A failure. It's a failure. And, for all of what a lot of you have done in your, I guess you could say, your move against the more conscious voices in our community, the bourgeoisie class has really talked about and tried to alienate voices in our community that have been more conscious. You've tried to alienate the Honorable Louis Farrakhan, many of you. But for all that you've tried to do, I want you to get this. As a people, we don't have the power to keep this enemy from killing our 1-year-old babies. What does that say about us as a people? I want you just think about it. What does it say that you cannot get anybody to stop killing your 1-year-old babies? They don't even have a chance at 1 year old being murdered by police. You see what I'm saying? So that's where we are. We are in what we call a bad place. And that place is not going to change until we change. That's what you got to understand. It is not going to change until what? We change. And that's where I want us to I guess understand. We really are in what we call bad shape as a people. And that's what I want our people to understand. We are in bad shape, and I'm about to send a link to someone who requested it. And boom. Now, the thing that I want us to understand in this, because I don't want you to think that all is lost. But if we are going to move the same way we've been moving and not try to grow our own food, not try to write our own curriculum and educate our own children, not try to divest in name brand clothes, and try to figure out a way to where we can do our own clothes. You understand? And do things for ourselves. The pesticides and the food additives are killing us and we're having some bad problems with our health. And as long as we have our mouth in an enemy's kitchen, we're going to continue to suffer cancer, neurological issues, all kind of problems we're going to have. Why? Because we refuse to do those things that we know we should do, which is do something for ourselves. Understand that we're in a hell of a condition that needs to be dealt with in the proper way. Okay, it needs to be dealt with in the proper way, and obviously, the integration that we were promised, the full inclusion in the American system of things, is not happening. Carmelo Anthony, who defended himself against racist enemies, against racist enemies, against racist enemies. And when you look at the racist rant of the father, you realize that this dude was a racist that raised his son to be racist. And when his son put his hands on the wrong one, now his son is 6 feet under. Carmelo Anthony does not deserve to be behind bars. But here's the thing I want to ask you. If you remember, right there in Dallas, in the state of Texas, Amber Geiger, a white woman, a white police officer, goes into Botham Jean's apartment. She goes into Botham Jean's apartment, and she, says she thinks it's her apartment, and she shoots the man and kills him while he was eating ice cream in his own apartment. Now, she got 10 years. And I distinctly remember one of the jurors after the fact saying that they couldn't give her 30 years. But these white folks were able to give your black brother 35 years.
Brother
and this
Dad.
was a black woman on the jury. Now, understand this also.
Brother Dad, we have a phone call.
Oh, yeah. Let's go ahead and take that call.
All right. Go ahead, caller. Welcome to Community Defender. Go ahead, caller.
Yeah, what's happening, guys? And great topic tonight, Brother Darren. I'm glad you spoke up with the right talking. The snakes keep biting us. But please don't compare these ignorant white folks to these snakes. Snakes only bite if they feel threatened. These white people, I heard you say that there was white supremacy. No, this is white fragility. Inferior people who know who we are, the superior people. This is why they create all the legislation against us to pronounce us as hateful people, which is them. These savages are always making it reverse on us to make us think something is wrong with us. Black folks, let me put it to you just like this. We are superior people. We are the people they cannot be. And to all the black fathers, happy Father's Day, because we're doing our best in a system that wants us to be deadbeat like they are. And our biggest thing, black people, I can't blame these white folks for what we allow them to do to us, because every time we are lining up at these polls, we're making these white folks believe we are weak people. They are the weak people trying to keep us under them. And a lot of us who go get indoctrinated by them become them, and they start using them against us. Black folks, I can't keep telling y'all over and over, y'all learn who y'all are and what y'all come from. These people wouldn't mess with us. Our looks and our appearance scares them alone. Everything we got and they don't have, they know we are superior people. So they got to preach to us that we are inferior to make us believe that. This is why they want to incarcerate all of us, if not kill us. You know, you said about Barack Obama opening up his presidential center with his two white friends, the Clintons and the Bushes, and his Iranian CEO, Iranian, not African, Iranian CEO, black people. And they use us for us to be under them. And now they're getting black people to make us believe things are changing. We can do our own thing, black folks. They need us to survive, because as you notice, their great white hope Trump is showing them They are Negroes to the government. And that's the biggest problem we not understanding. Everything we do, they capitalize off it. Everything we got, they want, and a lot of us are giving it back to them. And we got to understand, go read that Constitution. Even though they play like we're not part of it, we are part of it, guys. Go read that First Amendment and Second Amendment. Their little so-called Independence Day is coming. And if we get our Second Amendment, we'll show them what the real militia is. But keep talking what y'all talking, Brother Darrell, but don't change the narrative. It's our own black politician that's selling us out. This government never was for black people. They need black people to undivide the white power. They just want us to be under them for the power. So keep talking what y'all talking, and we are the real snakes, because they know if we bite, it is poisonous, guys. But don't blame the snakes for these white folks. These snakes got better characteristics than these ignorant white racist people. Thank y'all, and have a nice night.
All right.
Well, we definitely appreciate the perspective of the caller, and it is, I believe, a perspective that is certainly very well meaning, and hopefully everybody can take it in and digest it according to your understanding. The thing is that we are going to continue to suffer, and I think that's what the caller was taught. We're going to continue to suffer these things. Now here's the deal. Here's the deal. And that is that, hold on just a second, guys. I got to take something. But here's the deal. It's a situation to where if we don't come together and do something for ourselves, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem. Excuse me. All right, there we go. No, now, if we don't do something for ourselves, it's going to be a serious problem. We're in a situation to where our backs are against the wall. We have consistently tried or attempted to go along to get along for so long. And we have fought for what we call representation in the Congress, in the Senate, and so forth. But now when you go on the websites, which I've done, I've gone on the websites and done some research, I guess about where people get their money from. And it's a situation to where it's money that's being given to our politicians as black people, where white folks control them anyway. So we might be fighting for black representation, much of which is controlled by white people anyway, not even controlled by us and our interests. So it's a situation where what we're fighting for, we might be fighting for symbol and not fighting for what we call substance. You understand? So, and I don't know what people think about that, because, you know, to have black faces in high places has really never helped us. And when Barack Obama, and I want you to go back and look at that interview, when he was asked about his accomplishments, he really didn't have anything to say. If you really look at it, he said he was most proud of the tone that he set. But can you eat a tone? Can you pay your mortgage with a tone? But what it says is how impotent we are within this system and this circumstance. We're very impotent. It's not much we can do because we're focusing in the wrong direction. We're trying to be with people who hate us instead of loving one another as black people. And that's just the bottom line. When that black family had a cookout, and somebody came at them with an AR-15 just for the love of killing, they approached them with an AR-15 just for the joy of the possibility of ending a black person's life. This is what I'm trying to tell you. When Dylan Roof went into that church and shot those 9 people, that was a work of joy for him. And understand, he represents not the minority. in the way that he feels. He represents a minority in what he did, but not in what he thought. Understand that Dylan Roof, the reason they stopped and brought him to Burger King after he murdered 9 people, reason they treated him as a human, even though he was a beast in human form, is because they don't give a damn about black life either. Understand that. That's what you got to deal with. The reason that this boy got out on a $5,000 bond only after shooting at a dozen black folks with an AR-15 premeditated, the reason that he has not been charged with attempted murder is because they don't give a damn. And no matter how many of their wars you fight in, no matter how many of us die in Iran, die in the Middle East, have died in Asia, it does not matter. You cannot make America treat you in a just way. You can't do it. You can't do it. You can you can do whatever you want to do. But in terms of them having the moral rectitude to be fair to you, that just ain't happening. And that's what you need to understand. And when you get that through your head, things will get better for you, and they'll get better for all of us when we come to the right conclusion. Now, we have another video that I'm going to go ahead and roll at this time of the Honorable Louis Farrakhan. It should be ready. I don't know if it's ready or not, Brother Director.
Yes, we're ready.
But we're going to go ahead and roll that video where the Honorable Louis Farrakhan is talking about the idea of separation. All right. So let's go ahead and roll that video if we can, good brother.
Now I want to read something, and then I want to talk about separation and why it is necessary, but how to accomplish it. After Elijah Muhammad states in our program, we want freedom, a full and complete freedom. We want justice, equal justice under the law. We want justice applied equally to all, regardless of creed or class or color. We want equality of opportunity, and we want equal membership in society with the best in civilized society. This is a human need. It's not even a want. It's a need, and it is a human right that not only belongs to us as black people, but it belongs to every human being on this earth. Okay. Now, it would be wonderful if we could get this under the leadership that is in power in the United States. But let's be honest with ourselves first. There's no way under this present mentality that we could get freedom, a full and complete freedom. Not under this. Racism and white supremacy as a mentality, an institutional racism that poisons the human mind and spirit, will not allow not only us to have full and complete freedom, but racism and white supremacy does not allow whites a full and complete freedom to develop along the proper lines. We want justice, equal justice under the law. Well, that's not bad. I mean, we should have equal justice under the law. But with that kind of mind, we'll never get equal justice under their law. No, by no means. And you won't even get it, listen now, under the Pope's law, under the Sheikh's law, under the Imam's law, because the world's religions have been poisoned, and the political bloodstream of the world has been poisoned to the degree that religion and politics, all of them have failed to cultivate the human being in the way that God intended for the human being to be cultivated.
Wow. Now, the Honorable Louis Farrakhan, there you have it, said that you're not going to ever get a full and complete freedom in this particular system. And that's what we need to understand. That's how we need to be looking at things. We need to be looking at things as they actually are, rather than this wishful thinking that we have had for so long. Wishful thinking, rather than logical thinking. And I don't know what they're thinking at the NAACP and the National Board. I don't know what they're thinking. I don't know what the conversation is. I'm not sure. But they have to know that everything they've worked for has been overturned. Everything that they said that black people could hold their hats to has been overturned. It no longer is there. It's no longer relevant. They're basically snatching congressional seats away from our black elected officials. And then at the question I posed was in view of where all the money comes from. When you go and you look up where who donates to these people, and you can look it up online. You can just go do a Google search for the website, and they'll bring it to you, and you'll be able to see the percentage, what kind of interests are supporting that person, and all of that. And that's everybody in Congress, everybody in the Senate, and even at the state legislative level. You can actually go on and see who it is that is donating to people's campaign, and therefore you know who it is that has some control over these people. And it's just not a pretty sight when you see it. So a lot of times we may be asking for black faces, but still getting white policy. Okay, we might be asking for black faces, but we're still getting white policy. Such was it with a lot of our elected officials. Such it was with Brother Barack Obama. And it's nice that his presidential center is open. I wish them the best. They're going to continue to build the Obama brand, and we're going to continue to have the same damn problems we've always had. And to be fair, Barack Obama could not do in 8 years what 400 years have done. He could not undo in 8 years what 400 years have done to our people. So it wouldn't be fair to judge him like that. But understand, he has basically admitted that in terms of any kind of permanent change, he hasn't made any. He hasn't made him. Go look at the interview and listen to the answer to the question when he was asked about his accomplishments. It will blow your mind. After 8 years, billions of dollars of campaign funds, all of us out there mobilized for brother, and he couldn't really name much. He just said he was most proud of the tone that he set. And so just wanted to lay that out there. So all of the court cases are going against black people. And I mean all of them. We're not winning anywhere. We're not winning against mass incarceration, particularly in the state of Louisiana. We're not winning. We're not winning in terms of having our representatives go to Congress. We're not winning. You can't name any front that we have worked for and worked on where we're winning. You can't find it. So again, you're not going to make America do something that America doesn't want to do. You're not going to be able to make America be just to you when you're disunified. When you have all this disunity that you're dealing with, you're not going to be able to get them to change. They hate you. They hated you before, and they hate you now. Now, for those of you who are saying, I know what you're thinking, because I used to be, I guess, a brainwashed Negro myself maybe 40 years ago, believing that one day it would happen. And when I graduated high school and got to college, I had these idealistic delusions of grandeur that, hey, all I have to do is get my education and everything is going to be fine. All we have to do is get educated and everything is going to be fine. Well, a lot of people have education and everything is not so fine. And the Honorable Louis Farrakhan said that our unity would solve 90% of our problems. See, you've been trying to get with the wrong people, and our people need to get with our people. Stop trying to bridge the racial divide. You haven't bridged it. You have been trying to bridge the racial divide since the damn 30s. Have you bridged the racial divide? No! It's not going to happen. I understand. We need to reach across racial lines. Has it worked? Are your young people being herded to prison? Even though you're trying to reach across racial lines, even though you're trying to reach across social lines, you're doing everything in your power to get other people to like you, to make them think that you're like them. I'm just like you. I'm just like you. We're the same. And nothing could be further from the damn truth. People say, well, I'm a human being, with 2 arms and 2 legs, but we've never kidnapped millions of people and brought them to our land and enslaved them. We've never created a system of Jim Crow and fake Jim Crow and hidden Jim Crow and all of that to marginalize millions of people all over the earth. We're not blowing people up to steal their oil. We didn't go into Iraq, but that wasn't something we did where we wanted to go into Iraq, kill 1.8 million Iraqis so we could give the country over to Exxon. We are not like them. Stop trying to say we're all the same. No, we are not. Okay, where are our slaves that we got? Where are the people who are languishing in our prisons? Where are the people that we've convicted for false for false allegations and they're in jail for 50 years and die in jail? What are the organizations we broke up using our governmental authority? We're not like them. So stop lying to your children and saying we're all the same. The hell we are. We're not the same. That's what we got to realize. I know it's rough. I know it's rough for the bourgeoisie class. I know it's rough. But you got to face the fact, no, we're not alike. Where are your slaves? Where are your jails that you got millions of people in that are working for free? You're not like white folks. I wish you could show me how you're like white. Where are your automobile manufacturing companies?
Brother Dad, we have a phone
Huh?
call. We have a phone call.
Go ahead. Let's go ahead and take that caller, brother director.
Yes, assalamu alaikum, brother Darrell.
Wa alaikum salam.
Yes, I was calling to say how horrific that is. How they could continue to kill our babies and no type of repercussion come up against them. It's something else that's going on where they feel a little 1-year-old child threatens them that much. Well, let me go ahead and kill him. But I'm somewhat lost because I'm not exactly sure where we should be headed at from suicide, from the killings, the mass incarceration. I mean, we don't even know how to do survival skills. Like going to the woods, understanding what you need to know, how to build a fire, how to protect yourself, because they are absolutely ready. They're absolutely ready. And Bubba Hannibal, may he rest in peace, along with Dr. Imari Obadeli, they would take a group of us and we would go to Mississippi, sleep out in the woods, learn how to fire again, learn how to do things to survive in the wilderness. We don't have nobody that's trying to do that again with these youngsters. And I wanted to tell you, just please keep up the good work, and we've got to survive this Holocaust that we're living in with the police state. Thank you.
Absolutely. And don't forget what they did to Grandmaster Jay, who was actually trying to show people how to use, um, their Second Amendment rights. I personally don't do guns, but I'm not one that judges people who do. And when he tried to say, okay, we can do the Second Amendment, understand they brought him up on charges and threw him in jail. They literally went back and looked at all kind of footage to try to find something that they could charge him with. And as a black community, we really sat there and watched him be crucified by the system and thrown in jail. I don't know how long he has, but when he gets out, because he'll have a felony on his record, he won't even be able to deal with guns unless he's looking at least at a minimum of 5 years if he just holds a gun like I hold this phone. So they've already taken him out of the game with his organizational skills. They've already taken him out of the game, taking him all the way out to where he as an intellectual and combative resource for us as a people, he has effectively been neutralized. Even when he gets out, he won't be able to do the things that he was doing, which gave our people a sense of pride and a self-defense kind of understanding. And many people, we may need to look up the deacons for defense. He was on that kind of road to where, look, we have to defend ourselves against attack. And the other thing that we got to be able to do is use our economic weapon. Our economic weapon is the greatest weapon, but we're giving our resources to Chanel and Gucci, Louis Vuitton. We're giving our resources to Prada. We're giving our resources because we want some white person's name on our body, because we really are, as the Honorable Louis Farrakhan would say, we have been lost from the knowledge of ourselves and don't know our own name, don't understand who we are. Therefore, we want somebody named Gucci. We want somebody named Louis, and we're willing to pay any price to get a status that we naturally should have, but it doesn't come through overpriced clothing. You understand? So our mentality has to change, because I would have to tell the civil rights community, love you, appreciate your work, but we're losing on all fronts in civil rights. Whatever strategy you have to admit it hadn't worked. If your goal was to get more black people into Congress, they're rolling all of that back. If your goal was to get more of us to vote, they're rolling all of that back. If your goal was to get more majority black districts, they're rolling all of that back. So everything that you want, they're taking away. And you're powerless to stop it, because you're fighting in their system. You're fighting on their platform, a platform that they control. Certain things they control. But in order for us to win and not beat somebody, but win in terms of having a future for ourselves and our children, we then have to grow our own food, educate our own people, support black businesses. But we're supporting Gucci. And I'm as a graduate of an HBCU, I can't tell you how many times I see people at homecoming with a $700 Gucci belt on. That's $700 for a belt that says an Italian man named Gucci. And you may not have even given $100 to the foundation. You may not have even donated to the HBCU that you graduated from.
1 minute, Brother Darrell.
So
1 minute.
clearly, we need a checkup from the neck up, as the brother would say. How long do we have, good brother?
1 minute.
We're gonna go ahead. Okay, we got about a minute left. So this is what I want us to do. I want us to pray, and I want us to get ready to be with one another. That's what we have to get ready for. We have to be with one another. We have been rejected by American court system, by the American education system, rejected by the American financial system. We have been rejected collectively. I'm not saying that some people haven't been successful, but collectively we have been rejected. So we have to turn to God and ourselves. As the Honorable Louis Farrakhan would say, we must depend on God and ourselves. And we've tried to depend on the system, but the system has failed. It is too full of white supremacy. It is too full of wickedness. And now we have to do things for ourselves. And that means doing everything from making our own clothes, everything, growing our own food, everything. We have to get in that kind of mindset. And anybody that's not thinking like that or talking like that is selling you a bunch of wolf tickets. I'm just your brother, Brother Darrell Muhammad, and I want to greet you as I came before you in the greeting words of peace and paradise of Assalamu alaikum. And remember that I'm saying what I'm saying because I love you. Have a good